Hey there, it's Aaron Jacobs with Scorecard Sales, and today we're going to go over the scorecard tool, the scorecard. The reason why the scorecard exists is so that we can capture in a very simple way our sales activities so we can see what we're doing overall, where we have areas to improve, and what we're doing well. So let me share screen here and I'll walk through this tool with you. So when you go to your home page on the scorecard tool site, you're going to go down to the scorecard entry button. And when you click on that, you're going to see a screen that looks a little bit different than mine because we'll assign sales activities that make the most sense for you and your organization. But these are the ones that I'm using for mine, so they're going to look a little bit different. Um, all scorecards are customizable, so if you find that things aren't going the way you think they should, or you'd like to add something or remove something, just contact myself or your scorecard rep, and we will make those changes for you. So let's walk through what it is to plan out a day. So the first thing that you want to do with your scorecard is kind of plan out your day and your week. The scorecard allows you to plan out as far out as many weeks as you want. Usually 1 to 2 weeks is enough for most people, but it depends on what you like to do. So if I look here, I'm going to see on Thursday, I haven't made a plan. On Wednesday, I did make a plan, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But Thursday, I'm going to look at my calendar and look at my tasks, the things that I want to do to kind of place out what I want to get done on the scorecard. So let's say I've got 2 clients to visit on Thursday. So I'll mark that down as my plan. And I know I've got a handful of phone calls to make. And as I do this, you'll see that a score is populating here. That's derived from a weighted value that we give each of these activities. So you'll start to get yourself to 100. If you go down below, you'll start to see where your score is totaling out to. It's good to know here that this is not a math test. Most people don't get 100% every day, so it's not that you didn't do a good job that day. We're looking at the overall picture. It's also possible for you to get more than 100% if you really did a lot of sales activities for that day. So don't get fixated on the 100%. Get fixated on having a good plan and doing your best to reach that plan. Now going back to my plan here, emails, I know I have about maybe 8 or so emails to send that day. I'm going to tool around with a couple LinkedIn invites, maybe 5 LinkedIn invites. Let's say I'm in construction and I want to visit a customer on a job, so I'll go to a job site visit and so on and so forth. So I'm getting down to 72%. This top list that you see is a list that you'll typically do at any given day in the week. But sometimes to keep the list short, there's other activities that we don't want to populate the list with. But if you go down to the drop-down button, you'll see other things that you can do. Say you're going to take somebody to lunch. So I'm going to meet somebody up for lunch. So I'll mark that down on part of my plan. And that gets me to a 97. That's probably going to be a pretty busy day for me sales-wise. But let's say I want to add a few comments in here to kind of have a diary about what my sales day is like. And so let's say I'm going to have lunch with Sarah Jackson. So I know what that references to. I can mark that down. And let's say that I'm leaving early for a dentist appointment. If I wouldn't remember what was going on that day, I can just say leaving early for dentist appointment. And then that gets logged in there. It doesn't get calculated into the total, but if you just want to look back and see what you did that day in more detail, this allows you to do this. You also have the ability to get bonus points. Bonus points do not get added to your daily total. It gets added to your monthly total. So it's a good way to rack up a good monthly score. And these are the things that have high impact, like closing deals or getting a referral, depending on what we assign for you and your client. So you go to your drop-down list here and just say, I made the big sale, and that will automatically add into your bonus points. If you go down here, you'll start to see a weekly point of view, what you have planned out and what you've actually done. So if you want to get a view of what you're doing here, what I'd like to do is look at the pie chart, and that tells you how you're spending your time. So I have a lot of time visiting clients. That makes sense. I'm doing a little bit of work on social media, and I'm doing some phone calls, but I don't see a lot of work in here in email, and that may be an opportunity for me later on to kind of broaden my sales activities. So that's how you plan a day. Let's talk about how you actually score your day. So you look back on what your plan was. I'm on the wrong day. So let's go back to this day. I didn't have much of a plan, but I'm going to say, I did visit 3 clients that day. I had one more. I look back and I keep a checklist, and I made 7 emails. I had to be out on the road a lot, so I was on 3 job sites and so forth. And that'll tally down to what you did in 89%, and you'll see how that went. So that's how the planning and the scoring part of that works for you. As you go through, you may say, well, what happens if I have a day off? Well, there's a little day off button in the upper left-hand corner. If you click that, this allows you to do a couple of things. It'll show you have a day off if you're not working that day. But let's say that you only need a half day off or a quarter day off. You can pick which one you do. And let's say you only work a half day on Friday because you're leaving early to go out for the weekend. Your score weights will actually change and grow in value because you're only working a half a day. The scorecard allows for that and does not penalize you for leaving early. So your ability to look through different weeks is found up here, months or weeks on the arrow buttons. But what's really nice about this is the reporting system on this. So if you go to the scorecard menu over here, you'll see a couple of features. And if you go down to reports, you can see at any point in time how you or the team is doing for the month. If you want to see it just for yourself, click nothing but the data analysis, the monthly report, and that will download. Or if you're a sales manager and you want to go back and you want to do the team, you'll see that there is a team button here. Let me go back to that. Here we go. So if you run the report for the whole team, that'll show you everybody all together, and you get a team report out of that. See the report, you just pull it up, and this will give you a one-page, not a one-page, but a multi-page summary of each person on the sales team, as well as a total team summary, so that you can see how you're doing. This also works on the mobile app. If you get onto the mobile app, it's just as easy, if not easier, to do it that way. Other than that, we hope this makes your job a little more efficient and easier. If you have questions or you need any help, just reach out to myself or your scorecard rep, and we'll do everything we can for you. Good luck scorecarding.